Put the smile on.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi there. Back. Hi there and hello. Whew. That took all the energy I had. Welcome back to another episode of What the Fuck Did We Just Watch? That's Bug.
That's Maine.
And today we are celebrating a very special day because we're filming on Bug's birthday. Happy birthday to you. You live in a zoo.
I really
you
do.
You look like a monkey and you smell like what you. I mean, now we do. Mina took umbrage.
My dog is very offended on my behalf. I love you too, pumpkin butt.
So anyways, we're very excited. We hope you go to our community post where I have wished Bug a happy birthday today, and you send her birthday wishes as well. Why don't you tell them about your...
Especially on my birthday. Oh,
your dollar bills.
My dollar bills, y'all. Okay, so yeah, I've never seen it anywhere else. I've never heard of it anywhere else. But in New Orleans, when it is your birthday, you pin money on your shirt. And as you are out and about town, it is a known thing. And people will wish you happy birthday. They will pin money on you. And then you do not have to pay for any of your drinks.
Yeah.
I had one guy one year tell me that he was like, I don't have any cash on me. I don't carry cash. I'm so sorry. But can I sing you a birthday song? And then he sang me like very well. Dude had a phenomenal voice. Very quietly in my ear while the rest of my party like waited at the end of the block. Just sang me this
so
really,
creepy,
really sweet.
But...
No, it was really, I know it sounds creepy, but he did it in such a like sweet, genuine way. Like it was just a wonderful little like, I don't have anything to give you, but I can give you this. And it was his beautiful voice. So
the way for, like how on your birthday in some places they're like, oh, wow, it's your birthday. Let me buy you a shot. Or let me buy you a drink.
It's a New Orleans version of buying you a shot.
Yeah, exactly. Because they don't know what you like. Mm-hmm. You know, you may not want another drink at that point. Whatever. Mm-hmm. Like, it's just a way to gift you something.
Another drink at that point.
Yeah. Gift you something on your birthday. So happy birthday, Bug.
Thanks.
Glad we could celebrate it all together.
Me too.
That's why we're a little low energy because we just came back from the biggest, most delicious brunch.
The best brunch.
If you're in New Orleans, you need to go to Couvent. The restaurant inside the Eliza Jane Hotel on Magazine Street.
Oh my God, y'all, it's so good.
It's amazing.
So good. We had fun, but we've also had a couple of cocktails at this point.
Which is why I'm switching to the coffee because I need to wake up a little bit. All that food makes me a little drowsy. Also,
I'm gonna nap after this.
We're gonna like snuggle into bed together. It's not weird.
With me,
the dog will be
between us. It's fine.
But I am coming off of having the flu this past week. So
she had the plague.
I did a little bit. It was pretty bad. Today is the first day that I've even ventured outside of my house for like 8 days.
I can hear your voice
and it's going to be
starting to
gone by the end of this, which is a shame because I have to do most of the talking today.
Yeah.
The subject that we're discussing is something that we agreed upon to share with you and.
And I don't know a whole lot about it. I know a little bit, but I don't know a whole lot about it. May did the majority of the research on it. Like I had an idea of it, but she's gonna broaden my mental horizons.
I hope so. I hope that we can teach you a few things too. I am also rocking the strangest hair I've had since we started this. But
love it. I think it looks phenomenal.
Anyways,
yes.
So today. We're going to go into the history, the tradition, and the looks of two very specific crews for Mardi Gras.
Staples of New Orleans Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
Staples.
They are a very specific class of people that participate. And when I say that, I'm not denigrating one or the other. But Mardi Gras has traditionally been, when you go to the parade and you see the crew of Knicks or Rex or Zulu or Muses, the crew, which is KREWE, crew of these organizations, Mardi Gras has long been prohibited to people of color.
Yes.
And it's only very recently, in the last 40, 50, 60 years.
I was going to say last few decades.
It's not very recent that people of color have been allowed to be a member of these crews.
And you have specific crews like the crew of Zulu that are specifically crews of color,
Mhm.
like the ones that we're going to discuss today.
Mhm.
And there's a wonderful tradition on Mardi Gras Day of the crew of Zulu and the crew of Rex and the way that they interact with each other, which is that the crew of Zulu starts rolling before the crew of Rex. So these are the streets that they come down and they go turn onto St. Charles and they go in the same direction. The crew of Zulu is a black crew that is specifically to resemble the working class of New Orleans. And the crew of Rex is the elite white class
Mhm.
of New Orleans.
Mhm.
And the way the routes work and what ends up happening is the crew of Zulu intentionally stalls out the crew of Rex. They make them come to a halt,
Yep.
and they have to sit and wait on their parade route while the crew of Zulu finishes their route, in order to show that the working class of New Orleans runs New Orleans.
Amen.
Bad.
And it's funny that you bring up the working class bit, because we're going to get to that. We're going to see where that applies.
Okay.
Okay. So
I'm intrigued. I hope y'all are. I am intrigued.
It's just a little bit of stuff that you may not know about how Mardi Gras works.
And what the history of that is.
Because it's been a very elite white celebration
Mm-hmm.
in New Orleans, which is kind of bullshit.
It's total bullshit.
Because the black working class community is what drives this city.
It really is.
They're the ones fixing the streets before you get here for Mardi Gras. They're the ones cleaning up the trash. They're the ones who are doing repairs on sidewalks and to sewage lines. And,
they're working the service industry.
Mm-hmm.
That and yes, we have white people in the service industry. I do my fair stint in service industry, but yes, we are a part of it, but they're the ones that consistently make shit happen. Thank you, Nina. I appreciate your input.
She's gonna toss her a look.
Give her a treat.
You want a treat?
This is what we've come to.
Yeah,
with
we're bribing
the
the
studio
dog.
dog is we just bribe her with treats just to continue filming.
So what we're gonna start with is the Mardi Gras Indians. Now, I knew very, very little about the Mardi Gras Indians and that particular community.
Y'all are gonna love this.
Until I did a little research. The Mardi Gras Indians were started because of, here you go, Mina, have another treat. So you just be quiet. But the Mardi Gras Indians were started
You bother me, kid.
as an answer to the elite white crews of Mardi Gras, the elite white societies that back these crews.
And man, they show us up.
Yeah, they do.
Ooh, if you've
they
ever
do.
seen Mardi Gras Indian costumes, my goodness.
I'm going to put a picture here. That's what Mardi Gras Indians look like. Okay.
For real, yo.
Well, that's one.
That's a version.
Yeah. There's different groups.
Okay.
Feed the dog. So there are two different groups primarily of Mardi Gras Indians in New Orleans. Okay. There's an uptown and a downtown. Now, the Mardi Gras Indians came about as a way for black working class New Orleanians to pay homage to, you can hear my voice going, to pay homage to the Native Americans from this region who helped to hide them and care for them when they were enslaved, as they were making their way to freedom, as they were through the Underground Railroad, etc.
That's cool as shit,
Yeah,
y'all.
the Native Americans, knowing what it's like to be oppressed by white people, said, "We got you. They lived in their communities. They learned some of their cultures. They were taken care of, fed, watered, clothed, etc. And were then, when they were well enough to travel, or when it was safe to travel, the Native Americans would guide them to the next post so that they could get to freedom. So that's where the Mardi Gras Indians come from, because it is a Black working class society community.
That is awesome.
Yeah, didn't know that.
So cool. No, I
Didn't
had
know
no
that.
idea.
Now there are two factions that
You mentioned that. Like, I don't.
Yeah, there are two factions. There are uptown and downtown. Now, uptown, if you see a Mardi Gras Indian from uptown, and I'll put a picture here. Uptown Mardi Gras Indians are better known for their rich colors, lots of feathers, lots of sequins and stuff, all that kind of like just, I mean, in these costumes, let me tell you, these costumes take up to a year to make. Okay, thousands of dollars go into the material, the dyeing, every bead, every stitch is hand sewn.
Well, have you seen like all of the on the pictures that you've posted, like all of the colors, the way that they all fit together, like, you know, the beads and the feathers have to be matched in color.
Mm-hmm.
And the easiest way to do that is to dye the feathers.
Yeah.
You find the beads and you know, those types of
After
pieces.
you dye the feathers so that you know it's a good match.
Yeah.
So
That's
beads and feathers are primarily the plumage and the adornment of the uptown Mardi Gras Indians.
Okay.
And that is to honor the Native Americans who helped them when they were enslaved. Now, they then go to war with the downtown Mardi Gras Indians.
Okay.
And the downtown Mardi Gras Indians also have feathers, but their costumes are sequins and rhinestones, everything shiny and sparkly to pay homage to their African roots.
Oh.
So that's the two different primarily the two different factions of Mardi Gras Indians that exist in New Orleans.
Interesting.
So we'll put side by side.
But they're both like African Americans, just paying homage to the two different groups,
to the
Native
two different
Americans
cultures
and the African.
Yeah. Okay. And they will go to war in the street.
That makes me nervous.
It's not really war now. It did used to be
an actual
kind of a fracas.
Battle. Yeah.
Not a battle of sorts, but they did rumble. Exactly.
To put it in white boy terms.
Yes, the Sharks and the Jets. Because we have to whiteify everything. Excuse me.
I think she means whitewash, but that's
I had a couple cocktails at lunch. It's fine.
Happy birthday, me!
Yay!
Men can't talk.
But I will put a side-by-side photo of an uptown Mardi Gras Indian, if I can make this thing work, and a downtown Mardi Gras Indian, so you will see the difference. Okay, got it? Good. Now, they would rumble. The uptown Mardi Gras Indians are they're marching crews, like they're on foot.
Yeah.
And everybody knows you gotta have a good beat if you're gonna march.
Yeah.
So the uptown Mardi Gras Indians, and I believe I have this right, are a very percussive heavy crew. A lot of drums.
That makes sense.
A lot of
that was
tambourines.
Very, very Native American. You know, music was
very rhythm motivated.
Focused, yeah.
Excuse me. And then the downtown Mardi Gras Indians have a more African derived, where it's more wooden flutes, woodwinds, that kind of thing.
Right.
They are also very percussion heavy, but not in the sense that the uptown Mardi Gras Indians are.
Right.
And if I can find,
so you can hear the difference between
the
styles
meet in the street sometimes. Like during Mardi Gras, they will find each other. They will cover miles of ground, up to 10 and 15 miles on Fat Tuesday, on Mardi Gras Day.
That's a lot of work.
Now, keep in mind, these costumes weigh about 150 pounds.
They're so heavy.
They weigh about 150 pounds, and these are, you see, she choked on her treat because she jumped. They're so heavy, and depending on when Mardi Gras falls, it can be really, really warm. And these are not just grown men wearing these. There's a big chief. There's a big queen. There's a flag boy. There's a torch boy.
I really like the big queen one.
Yes. If you've ever heard the song Iko Iko,
you have all heard it.
That, yeah. Think Rain Man, my flag boy and your flag boy sitting across the fire. That came from the Mardi Gras Indians. That is all about the Mardi Gras Indians.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That song is Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
What the shit?
Which I think is funny because I love that song. It's been on my running mix for...
Damn, she's up on the table. Y'all,
But yeah, Iko Iko is a Mardi Gras song. It was written about the Mardi Gras Indians.
I love that song so much more now.
I know.
What the shit?
I know.
I didn't know this.
You know what? When we do our outro, I might just put a little...
I think you need to put it on there.
I'm going to put it on the outro. So listen for that. See if you can spot some of the lines.
Listen to the lyrics. Yeah.
There's a line that says,
killing me.
"See my king all dressed in green. He's not a man, he's a loving machine." Yeah, that's about Mardi Gras Indians. So there you have it. Little story about Mardi Gras Indians. Complete with pictures and bouncing Mina.
Maybe the treats was a bad idea.
Yeah, it might have been. Whoops. So we're gonna pause and I'm gonna get a little bit of water with some honey and lemon in it.
Sit down.
So we're gonna take a little break. We'll be right back for our next story. So I do have to make an addendum on the Mardi Gras Indian thing. I said there were two major factions, and while that is true, there are currently over 40 Mardi Gras Indian tribes in the city. And they often hold competitions between uptown and downtown.
Well, yeah, you did say that it was by neighborhood. It was neighborhood specific. So that makes
sense. It is neighborhood specific.
We got a lot of different neighborhoods in this town.
But I misspoke when I said there's two major tribes. No, there's over 40 different. There are over 40 different tribes, and they often have friendly call out competitions and competitions to see who is the prettiest. So you can see by those costumes that
I don't want to be the one to judge that competition.
No. And who judges that? I couldn't find that. I couldn't find who judges the competition because it would have to be an impartial person or a group of people.
Well, but from what I've seen of them, I feel like they would all be very honest and respectful when it comes to the costume.
Absolutely.
Thing. They just
they recognize what is the best put together, the prettiest one, the most colorful, etc.
Yeah, I would think they would be.
So yeah, I apologize about that. It's not just two warring factions. There's
multiple,
40 different tribes.
But the uptown and the downtown are the
are
main
separated.
Ones that are. Squish your head. Sorry, I'm sorry, y'all. I've had cocktails for breakfast, but they're the two that stop it.
That rival each other. That rival each other. Okay,
they're the biggest deals.
There we go. So from the Mardi Gras Indians, we're going to move on to, and this is my favorite. I mean,
it's right up our alley.
I love this crew.
Yeah, they're it's fucking fantastic.
What they stand for and how they go together, it's remarkable to me.
Yes.
They're not a regular marching crew.
No.
And I'm talking about the Skull and Bone Gang. So, the Skull and Bone Gang, they came about in, I want to say, the early 1800s.
Okay.
Once again, a working class,
always
Black community based in the Tremaine neighborhood, which is the oldest historically Black cultural neighborhood in New Orleans.
Yes.
Unfortunately is being gentrified all to fuck, but the Skull and Bone Game was formed in the Tremaine as kind of to the white crews that wouldn't have them. But their job is to they march, so to speak, and they're another crew that walks. They kind of meander. They don't have a set route in the Tremaine, but they will walk up.
Because they do what they want.
They do, and they walk up to 10 to 15 miles as well through the Tremaine, doubling back, circling around. What they do is they march before dawn on Mardi Gras Day. Now, I say that they're my favorite because I love everything they stand for. I love the look of them. I love what they do, how they do it. But I have never been awake at 5 a.m. on Mardi Gras Day to catch them. And at 5 a.m., I'm not going to wake up.
She awake. She just not down in the Treme.
Exactly. Because I would have to drive from my place in the suburbs, essentially, to the Treme, which is closer to downtown, in the dark, in the night.
I love you.
That was for you. You and Shirley Jackson. Excuse me. But they start before dawn, usually about 5 a.m. on Mardi Gras Day, Fat Tuesday morning. And they are a little bit terrifying.
Yeah, they're creepy.
As a working class,
not just
Black
in how they look,
community
but in
and
how,
crew,
what they do and how they operate.
Excuse me, I'm dying.
I like this one a lot. I don't know a whole lot about them, but I like them.
They dress as
the name implies.
Yeah, as a representation of death in skeleton costumes.
Mm-hmm. They the skull and bones.
Now, because they're a working class crew, their materials are like home sourced.
Mm-hmm.
They use whatever they can find because they didn't have the money traditionally to go to the fancy shops like the white people did and buy their satin gowns and their ostrich feather boas and their jewels and their beads. They use 2x4s, black sheets, paper mache, baling wire.
A lot of times, like even the black sheets, they dyed at home.
Yeah, no, they painted
sheets.
them. Yeah.
It's
they're not fancy, but as the years have gone by, they have become more elaborate, more terrifying.
They're so cool.
More imposing.
Put a picture up of them.
Yeah. Okay. So here's a picture of the Skull and Bone Gang for Mardi Gras. So as you can see, they're a little bit scary. They're scary, but they're meant to be scary.
Yes.
Their job on Mardi Gras morning, and they take their job very, very seriously.
I'm glad I don't
is because you're right. Because their job is to make as much noise in the street on Mardi Gras morning as they can. There's chanting. There's music, also very percussion driven.
Yeah.
And there's knocking, pounding on doors to wake you up.
Y'all, they run up and bang on your door.
Yeah.
To call your ass.
They get in your face if you're walking.
Yeah.
They pound on your they pound on your door to wake you up because their message is excuse me. Today's Fat Tuesday. It's time to party. You need to do it as much as you can because you never know when death is coming.
You don't know when you're next.
And that's their thing. They will say, you next.
Mm-hmm.
That's their whole thing.
It's like so creepy.
And they have had people like run from them, scream. People will slam their doors and lock them in their face.
I would not open the door.
But the whole purpose, and they're like, good, do that. Because don't forget, I saw you, you saw me, and you next. That's their whole thing.
Jeez, all my hair follicles.
I know. They're the coolest. I think that's the best message because Fat Tuesday is the last day to celebrate before Lent.
That's why everybody goes so crazy. Like you indulge.
Right. So that you can
give up before you sacrifice things during Lent.
So you can abstain during Lent.
Mm-hmm.
So their whole thing is to remind you, like, get up and enjoy it. Yeah. But mortality is right around the corner. You could be next.
Yeah.
And now that you've seen
live your life,
my visage as the Skull and Bone Gang, like, you next. Don't forget it. Like,
so cool.
They involve, it started out as like a group of like kind of middle-aged men who they were trying to drive home to the Black youth of the city
to make something.
Stop this violence. Stop the drug use. Stop fighting each other.
Stop the infighting.
Yeah, it's not helping anybody. It's not helping you. Get away from all that and better yourself. So that's the whole premise of the you next is if you don't change your shit, you could be next. And we want to protect our Black men and our Black young men.
And we do.
And our Black women, of course, because we would be nothing without. We would be nothing without Black women. That's just facts.
Nothing. None of us would.
So the Skull and Bone Gangs is to try and draw young people away from a life that would be damaging to them later down the road. They don't want them to be criminals. They want them to be productive and part of the community. So now what started out as a group of kind of middle-aged men, fathers, uncles, grandfathers, they have started to include younger people. You'll see children out there in these costumes, which to me is just terrifying.
We know that's the scariest thing on the planet.
So scary. But it is a message to young Black people to, you're better than this.
Yeah.
If you keep going down the path of criminality, which New Orleans as a city has forced them into because of gentrification, because of defunding of public schools and resources, that's the road they're headed down because it's easy money. And these men are trying to say to these youth, don't do it. You're better than that. Look at where we've gone. We've worked for what we've got. You can work for what you can get. Like, we're a community and we have to uphold each other. And I think that is the coolest thing.
100%.
You know?
100%. I'm so behind that.
One of these days, I'm going to get down to the Treme on Mardi Gras morning. Maybe this year will be the year.
Maybe this year.
Maybe. That would be great.
I've made her do more Mardi Gras things, so
yeah. I definitely look to you to kind of lead me into like Mardi Gras stuff because we've mentioned this before. I don't like crowds. I don't like forced frivolity. But once you get caught up in that spirit,
it's different. It is like the crowds are not. You don't feel restricted in these crowds.
You don't feel in danger necessarily.
You don't. You feel like you get that feeling of we are all in this together. We are all celebrating together. I don't know you. I don't know your name. I've never seen your face before.
But I love you.
You are my brother. You are my sister. And we are in this celebration
You're
together.
My neighbor, yeah.
It is so wonderful.
It really is.
It is such a magical feeling to be down, like to be on St. Charles on Mardi Gras Day.
And just shoulder to shoulder with strangers that aren't strangers.
No. Not at all. Like you meet your best friends there.
Yeah. Yeah. And people will look out for each other.
Oh, 100%.
And they will take care of people. You know, it is a community.
So
and
cool.
That is what drives the spirit of Mardi Gras to me and to you too.
Oh,
I think.
Absolutely.
And there is nothing more magical and heartwarming than to hear an elderly Black lady call you baby.
That's my favorite.
I was at the grocery store one day.
Baby.
Yep. And I had a conversation. The lady in front of it, she wasn't even in front of me. She had checked out. I'm checking out. She stopped to talk to my cashier as I was checking out. And we had a good laugh about how we had both gotten a late start that morning. And I was like, and it was a Monday. And I was like, it's Monday. We all got a late start today. She's like, I know that's right, baby. Like, it is the most cherished feeling. Are no strangers here, and that's the spirit of Mardi Gras to me. And I think that these two groups represent that better than anything. I mean, the Mardi Gras Indians share a camaraderie and a history with the Native Americans, and they honor that history. The Skull and Bone Gangs want nothing more to protect the youth of their community and to care for them and to be the best that they can be and to be successful without being harmful to another person. And I think there's nothing nobler.
To improve themselves and their lives without giving up their culture.
Yeah.
Which was legitimately, literally stolen from them.
Yeah.
When they were brought to this country as slaves. Like, and they
Yeah.
I love.
And then continued.
And still continues.
Yeah. It still continues.
And it needs to fucking stop.
Yeah.
But they, like, just that focus of, like, don't forget who you are, but make you better.
And by making you better,
gorgeous.
You make your community better.
Yes.
And that's something that, in my opinion,
so beautiful.
We as white people will never understand.
No, it's never been done to us.
It's never been done to us. We've never had to band together like that.
No.
So we don't get it. But to see these communities band together and better themselves for one another is probably the most beautiful, cathartic thing I can think of.
Absolutely.
I mean, we're neighbors. We're friends. That's my brother, my uncle, my mom, my auntie. Like, these are, those you're each other's people.
I love it. I love Mardi Gras.
I love Mardi Gras now. I didn't used to, but I love it now. Thank you. So that
Lena just dropped her stick behind the couch,
and now she's coming to us for solace. So we're gonna wrap it up because she's gonna start up any minute now.
Yes.
We hope you enjoyed this. We hope that you learned a little something. Sorry, it's
we
not.
hope that you get some tea soon.
I'm dying. I need a cough drop.
But did you die?
Oh my God. Don't make me laugh. Oh, geez, Louise. Anyways, we hope you learned something. We're sorry it's not
I learned a lot.
A traditional reaction video, but hopefully you'll look at it and react and go, I didn't know that. That's interesting. Or,
what the fuck did we just watch?
I didn't need to know that. I don't live there. I don't care. I'm never going to go there. And for that, okay, it's not for you. You can go ahead and skip it. I don't care.
Yeah, we don't give a shit.
But,
we found this very, very interesting, and we decided to share it with anybody who find it interesting as well. And if you don't,
we learned some things in researching this. Like, I didn't know half of this stuff. So
I didn't know.
Yeah. So we hope that you leave this episode a little bit more educated. And if not, fuck you anyways.
Yeah, go fuck off.
Yeah. No.
Jesus. But you should like and subscribe and hit the bell so that you get notifications for all of our new episodes. And until what you got more to say?
No, I was gonna say next week we had planned. You remember my last episode where I said we were going to try and interview somebody, get a little history, and no surprise, I got sick.
Flu.
So we couldn't sit down and talk to this individual, but
not without contaminating them.
We have an appointment with them, and we will be sitting down and doing that on video, and that should be next week.
That's going to be super cool.
That's going to be next week's, I think.
Cool.
Yeah. It's going to be in the French Quarter. So
y'all will get to see if you've never been here, then what is wrong with you. But also, we're going to show you some stuff.
We're going to show you some stuff from the French Quarter that may look familiar and some stuff that you may not know. So stick around, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you don't miss that. Okay?
Okay.
Love you.
Love you. Bye.
My grandma and your grandma sitting by the fire. My grandma said to your grandma, gonna set your fire on. Talking about henna, kawaii, chicken mofino, anane, chicken mofino. Look at my king all dressed in red, kawaii. Your father told us he'll kill you dead. Chicken mofino, talking about henna, kawaii. Chicken mofino, anane, chicken mofino. My black black boy, sitting by the fire. My black boy, sit to your black